Broadcasting live from our studio in Boston, Solutions Review is proud to showcase OutSystems in the Solution Spotlight, a unique online event for industry professionals.
I'm Doug Atkinson here at Solutions Review, and welcome to the Solution Spotlight featuring OutSystems and focused on turbocharging low-code app development with AI. As technology advances at an unprecedented pace, organizations are looking for opportunities to leverage AI. This is particularly true when it comes to software development. Today's IT leaders are challenged with many questions, including how will AI reshape coding in the future, and how will the role of low-code change in an AI-powered world? This Solution Spotlight will show you the current and future state of AI and low-code, and how both developers and end users can harness the power of AI using the OutSystems low-code platform. There is a lot to cover here, so I'm going to hand it over to Nuno Carneiro, AI Product Manager at OutSystems, to take it from here.
Great to be here with you, and very excited to do this presentation and talk about our work with artificial intelligence here at OutSystems. So to get started, I want to give you a brief introduction about OutSystems, our company, what we do, our local development platform, and then I will talk about what we're doing with artificial intelligence. And there will be a lot of demos as well. So I think that's the most exciting part. Get hands-on, show you how we're using artificial intelligence already today in our product. So yeah, your business is unique and your software should be too. This is what we like to say here at OutSystems. And we have this low-code, high-performance local development platform, which is our main product, and with which our customers innovate, and which we use to give our customers the power to innovate with software. Because we really believe that when there's a unique business need, there's the need to have unique software as well. And that's the product we're in, and that's our mission, to empower organizations to innovate through software. So we're already a global company, and we're in very different geographies. We're present in 87 countries, different industries, and we really have a huge community nowadays of developers and partners who make OutSystems what it is today. And our customers, they're a little bit all over and in these different industries, building different types of applications. But they're the types of applications customers use our platform to build usually fall under three categories: customer experiences, internal applications, and core systems. So here you can see how OutSystems is supporting organizations and businesses develop different types of software, from more customer-oriented experiences towards the core systems that keep organizations together. And this is also core to what we're trying to do here with OutSystems artificial intelligence. We want to enable our customers to go and build these experiences, the applications, and the core systems that sustain their businesses in the best way possible with the support of AI. So I'd like to share one important statistic, which is the number of unfulfilled software engineering positions. So this is a prediction that by 2026, in the United States alone, there will be more than 1 million open positions for the software engineering role. And this speaks to what we're trying to do with OutSystems. When we say we want to bring the power of software development to more organizations, we want to help you, enable you to develop software with less people in a more productive way, so that with a current team of developers, you can achieve more. And that's why we believe highly in AI-assisted development. So we have this vision and what we're building, where we pick up the normal software development lifecycle, developer creating an application that then gets used by a user, and we're going to enhance this cycle with the help of AI. So typical cycle is developer creates the application and the user goes back to the developer with feedback, who then improves the application. But we're adding here a new element, which is the AI, or the artificial intelligence, that's supporting the developer and guiding the developer in building this application in the best way and with the high quality standards. So that's why already since 5 years, we've been investing in artificial intelligence. We created a center of excellence and a research center here at OutSystems. And we've been in the forefront of AI-driven software development, and we're a recognized leader there. We have filed patents in this area, a lot of research papers that we actively contribute to the AI community as well. And we're really proud of this since there's really not been a lot of companies working on AI for software development in the past years. Now you see a boom in this area this year, and we're really glad about that because the technology is evolving in a way that enables more of our vision for the future. But we were really already seeing this wave coming, and we're happy that we invested in it for the past years. And I'll show you the results, some of the things we already have, and the ground that we have laid for this AI-driven future. All right, so how do we see AI-driven software development and the use of machine technology such as machine learning? So we're looking into app generation, for example, using conversational prompts. We're looking into how can we visually represent changes in applications, building a connector ecosystem where you very easily connect to the best and highest performing state-of-the-art AI services and models. And then also picking up on the experience of developing software itself and revamping that with an AI-powered editor. So we look at this then in terms of strategy in 3 pillars. So we have the pillar of applications. So we want to use AI to help our customers bring AI to their applications. So we help you connect to AI services, use computer vision within applications, for example. And then on the right side here on the slide, you see the other 2 pillars that we have for AI, which is AI within the software development lifecycle. So how do you use AI within our platform to enhance the way you develop software and the way you manage the application lifecycle management? So here are the dev and ALM pillars. And now I'll speak a little bit to each one of those 3 pillars. And at the end, then also show you a little bit of how this comes together into our bigger vision for the future and a new product that we're launching. So in terms of applications and using AI inside applications, we're looking at how our customers and the industry in general is using generative AI in particular nowadays. So this is use cases such as content generation, for example, improving the way customer support teams work with automatic responses, summarization, semantic search, and process automation. So this is just a list of some of the things customers build with generative AI within their applications with OutSystems. And in order to enable that, we're building an ecosystem of connectors and AI services that you can very quickly access from within the OutSystems local development platform. So these are some of the examples of the connectors that we have. We just recently launched a connector to Azure OpenAI, for example, that we're very proud of, which is really bringing this state-of-the-art OpenAI models within OutSystems applications as well, so that you can use them for business transformation right from within our platform. Now, if we look at OutSystems for development and ALM now, we like to talk about this as our AI mentor system. So the AI mentor system is a set of AI-based development capabilities that are like having a virtual tech lead within the product that's guiding your teams in every aspect of the software development lifecycle. So this AI mentor and the system is really supporting your team in ensuring you have applications, you build them in a more productive way, but also you have the right quality standards in place for every aspect of this development lifecycle, because we know it's not just about building the applications, you also then have to maintain them and evolve them. So what we're looking at is this set of 5 mentors. This is the AI mentor system. We have the code mentor that's supporting developers while they're building the application. And then we have other mentors that are the architecture, maintainability, performance, and security mentors that act more on this application lifecycle management side and make sure that the applications that the teams are building then have the right architecture, are maintainable, have the right performance, or don't have issues that will create performance issues in the future. And also, of course, don't create security vulnerabilities. So let's take a closer look at CodeMentor. CodeMentor is all about removing barriers, progress, and increasing productivity of our developers, and really bringing this experience of developing software to more and more people. Even if you don't have a lot of software development experience, we want to use AI to make it possible for you to develop applications with OutSystems as well as making it a very powerful application platform for those very proficient developers who have been doing this for many years, of course. So again, giving the power of complex applications to proficient developers, but also making simple things easy for those who are just getting started in the software development world. Now let me show you with a quick demo some of the features of this CodeMentor within our platform. So what we're looking at here is our development platform and a list of applications that this particular account was developing. And what we're going to explore in this demo is this field services application. Okay, so the field services application is an application to manage occurrences for a field services team. And we're going to explore how can we improve on this application with the help of AI within our platform. This is Service Studio, which is our development platform or our IDE. And here you see the list of screens from this application. Okay, the screens are already created. When you click the data tab here, what I'm showing you is all the data that's in the application, the data model. And you see here the tables on the right side and also how they connect to each other and what are the relations between them. Okay, so again, this is all about creating tasks and so on. Now let me open here the actions and getting back to the screen. Okay, so this was the field services applications we were seeing. So with the AI mentor system and the CodeMentor in particular, it's all these features that live here within this product, this IDE, our development platform. And we're going to edit now here a screen, and by adding, creating a new screen for customer feedback. Okay, we want to collect customer feedback, was not created before. So I'm dragging the customer feedback table or entity here. And our AI is already bootstrapping, creating two screens where we can see customer feedbacks and then details of that. So you see here a list of all the feedback. And then if you go in there, you then would see the details. Okay, let me open the query. So there's already a query that has been created that gets the screens and an action to explore that as well. And this will then show up here in this screen for customer records. Or customer feedback, sorry. Okay. The logic, so for the button, all of that has been created as well automatically for you. I open here, you see, this is our logic screen, okay? Each of these things is a logic node that basically has the logic. So here we already see a plus button that's in the middle of our logic flow. And this is our logic assistance, where we give logic suggestions for the next node that you might want to use. So if I'm going to click on that, you see there's a suggestion to get the table for customer feedback. And this is part of our CodeMentor AI here, that we get all these suggestions that you see. I'm going to click Get Data. I don't want to use, so I could click Get Customer Feedbacks and already get that created. But I want to actually show you how we also use AI within this process of querying data. So here, this is the screen where we will do queries. And you see here on top, there's a box where I can write a query in natural language. So this is where we are using artificial intelligence and transformer models. Let me write a query. So if I want to get, for example, the work orders. See, so I write this in English, click get data, and now I have all this. I have the source. Okay, so querying the work order database seems to work, was exactly what I was looking for. I was querying for the work order. And then what I'm actually looking for is just the ones that have this same work order ID. Okay. Now let me get back to my screen, go to the logic. Okay. So you see the name was automatically filled in here, get work order by ID. And now I can complete my logic flow here. And I can check, for example, if the list is empty to create a validation layer here. And this is automatically suggested. And here it is created by AI, by the code mentor. And you see there's the label for that, but we can also set when it's empty, let's say, let me create an exception, and I can fill in the exception message for that. That's that. And set it here, customer exception. Okay. So you see here how this whole process of me creating the logic flow was enabled by the code mentor and accelerated here a lot, right? So a lot of things here I didn't have to do manually. I had a suggestion that bootstrapped here the if, had the suggestions for the data query as well. And then all I had to do was just click on the exception. So let me show here more suggestions. For example, here, if I want to do a creation of, so I want to update now my feedback, right, based on this. And let me get to the inside the query again. So I wrote found source worker ID in order work order, right? Here's the source. This worked well, it seems. And here I can also change. So for example, if I wanted to have other sources, other filters, I could manually then go and change that and edit it. Okay. Now let me get back here. Right. So if you see my work order ID has all these attributes, right? Work order, sorry. So in case I want to look up, for example, employee, I could search for work order and employee. And here a code mentor is helping me merge the two tables, knowing that they match on the technician ID and user ID. And let's say now we want to do something different. For example, we want to know like those whose title is in, installer. Okay, so you get the same, but now there's a filter for title equals install. Okay, so here what we're really doing is accelerating dramatically the way we build queries and making it easy for anyone to build queries without knowing SQL, for example. Now, if I get back here, you see here I added before here the action of creating or updating the feedback. And whenever I hover there, there's this plus button that gives me more suggestions of things that I might want to do next. And all those things here on the right side have been automatically filled in, the name, the action by the AI. For example, when I set something, you see there's an error. So we're constantly also querying, there's the AI constantly querying for errors because I have not set the value there on the right side for the ID. And you can see here the errors log for AI. So I cannot publish the application because there's an error, it's not working. And this is part of our premise of always having working code and applications that work and don't break. So all I have to do here now to fix is go here eventually on the right side. So go back to the set ID here on the right side, and there's also AI suggestions, and I click to get this. Now I can publish and update the application. And yeah, so this is the overview. And so how Code Mentor is surfaced here. As you saw, very, very important parts here. Logic suggestions, autocompletes, and the ability to query data without actually knowing any SQL. So let me get back my slides. This was the development part, right? So now let me tell you about the application lifecycle side as well, and how we use AI to manage the application lifecycle management. So as I was telling you, we have developed 4 mentors: the architecture, maintainability, performance, and security mentors that support developers then on the lifecycle management side. So what we're doing here actually is, with the architecture mentor, is making sure whenever we develop code, the code meets critical architecture standards, and we will flag this in a tool we call AI Mentor Studio, where all of these mentors live. So I will show you now next in another demo. Then we have the maintainability mentor. So this is about making sure we maintain the agility to evolve applications. So for example, identifying duplicated code, technical debt, which is, all of this is technical debt actually, but for example, dead code that is not used, all of this will be flagged by the maintainability mentor that's constantly scanning the code and really ensures that applications built with OutSystems then have high agility for the future, because we don't want to build applications that are static. When we build applications that are evolved by development teams, right? And making sure they're maintainable is a critical aspect of that. Performance mentor is about scanning the code for performance issues. So things that might make the application slow in the future due to performance issues. And lastly, but very important, the security mentor. So this is about security vulnerabilities. We're looking into things such as code injection, or the mishandling of authorizations. And again, the AI mentor here scans the code and then flags the security vulnerabilities for our team to see and then go fix. Okay, so let me also show you how this looks like. Let me load the demo now. Okay, so what we're looking at here, I opened AI Mentor Studio. So this is our tool for checking technical depth and where these mentors live. So AI Mentor Studio is where architecture, performance, security mentor lives. And we see here a list of all applications. So imagine you have a big factory, lots of applications. This is the list. So I'm zooming in, for example, end user applications and so on. And the colors tell you the amount of technical depth. So if it's green, there's less technical depth, and red, there's more technical depth. And so all these modules of the applications are categorized into end user, core, or foundation modules, depending on the type of module it is. And this is where AI already comes in terms of classifying, understanding if a module is more end user or more core, for example. And that has different findings in terms of technical depth and different consequences when you look here. So this is where we see, for example, the amount of technical depth we have in terms of performance, security, architecture, maintainability. Okay. Architecture here, for example, we see there's the most of technical depth there, and we see how it goes along time. So what's the number of findings of technical depth a long time? So you see, for example, has your team been creating more or less technical depth than in the past? And then here the view for the applications. So you see which ones need the most attention from your team. Okay, for example, here, field services mobile, clearly an application when we were working on has more technical depth, here more findings, and I can click and then see the modules just for that one here and see which modules are more in the red versus which ones are more in the green, let's say. Can we see exactly what's causing the technical depth and the problems here within the field services application, the mobile app, for example? Yes, we can. So that's what I'm going to show you next. Okay. So here we go. So field services mobile, and here we're seeing the application, right? Field services mobile, and down here you see the findings where the architecture mentor, in this case, it has findings for inappropriate architecture of your system. So these are things, for example, as public entities are read-only, server-side entities and logic not being isolated, Let's dig in here, for example, into one of the findings. You see there's this particular pattern occurs 2 times, and I can open it here and see which elements are causing it. Okay. And also let me close this here. If I look, for example, into performance findings, you see things that are making applications slow. For example, CSS in the screen style sheet, might be making the application slow, unlimited records in aggregates, and so on. Then in terms of security, exposed REST services, insecure usage of getUserID function, a lot of things creating security vulnerabilities here. And we get great feedback from our customers using this, because every time they see these findings, for example, this insecure usage of getUserID, they immediately go and try to fix them so that they don't have any type of security vulnerability in the application. And you also see here the technical debt percentage. In terms of maintainability, so what we're looking at is, like I said, duplicated code and used code as well. And in terms of duplicated code, here this is a non-trivial pattern where we check code that actually could be refactored, could be it's like parts of logic, but doesn't have to be the whole logic flow, can be like flows within parts of logic flows. And then when you open, you can actually see the flow here, the first instance that the AI identified. So this is one instance where you have duplicated code here under create new ticket. And then you see underneath that there's another action called create new ticket that basically has the same code. So that's why it's being flagged here as duplicated code, something to be fixed. Okay. So things, again, unreachable logic, for example. And the best thing is we have here this button, open in Service Studio, where we can then go and check out that on Service Studio. So for example, here, unreachable logic, I can open. Again, we're back on Service Studio and we see here, there's a part of logic, where the statement is true. So basically, there's never a point where the logic flow would go to the other end of the if. Again, here another unused action, for example, that we can open. And we can see that effectively also here Service Studio is telling us this action is never used in any module. So we might want to delete it. It's probably just some dead code that's laying around here, and it's making your app less maintainable because it's the type of thing that's not used anymore. Maybe no one noticed, and the maintainability mentor is flagging it here. So yeah, that's really the vision here, is supporting you in the whole application lifecycle management side to make sure that, again, we help you with Code Mentor to build applications productive in a high productive way, very fast, but also make sure that the way applications are built meets the highest quality standards, and in particular in terms of architecture, performance, maintainability, and very importantly, security. This was our vision for the AI Mentor system, but now I want to tell you about one more very exciting thing that we've been working on. That's the future of, we believe, is the future of software development, and that's Project Morpheus. And in order to do that, I'll show you a little teaser video here, and I'll speak a little bit to it afterwards. you saw there is our bet on the future of app creation, a web-based IDE that has these drivers of 100x productivity, super fast iterations, and zero training, under the motto of change is the new build. So what you saw was AI bootstrapping the creation of an application, creating screens with generative AI, AI suggesting which screens you should create based on the data that's available, and AI then also suggesting different alternative UIs, so user interface displays for the table, for example, and then another chart that you should add there in that part. And really a whole new way to create software and applications that we believe will help us go towards this vision of 100x productivity, ensure our customers and organizations, businesses have the ability to iterate very fast on the software, and go towards this notion of zero training, where you don't really need training in this tool. All you need to know is the business problem you're trying to solve, know the domain very well, be creative, and then this tool will help you achieve and build the software that you need to make your business grow and succeed and innovate. So this is Project Morpheus, and we're very, very excited about it. Our newest approach to app creation, highly based on AI, and in particular generative AI. So underpinning all of this is our OutSystems AI engine, built on top of all this work we've been doing since this research center has been created 5 years ago, and now focused on large language models and generative AI and the latest state-of-the-art models, which we also work on and based on research to make them adapted to the specific problem of app creation and software development. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Really glad I had the opportunity to tell you about the AI mentor system, AI for apps, or how we use AI and enable our customers to use AI within their applications, transform businesses with AI, and our vision for the future of app creation with generative AI through Project Morpheus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nuno. We have time for just a few questions right now, but we do have quite a few submitted, but we'll do our best to get to as many as we can today. The first question we'll be able to answer today is, how does OutSystems view the generative AI phenomenon?
Yeah, so generative AI is really transforming the world, right? It's amazing how fast generative AI tools gained adoption and traction over the last few months. And we're very excited about this and the opportunity it brings to us towards this vision of supporting organizations and bringing the power to innovate to organizations through software. We have this very strong vision for AI-based and AI-powered software development. And we've been working on it with AI and generative AI. The latest models are really a significant qualitative leap in terms of the capabilities of AI. And we're excited about the things we can build with that, as you've seen, the things we showed, or I showed here. Yeah, it's an exciting time. I'm in particular very excited to be working in this area. I think from all the areas where artificial intelligence is transforming the world the most, software development is one of them. It's probably the one which will see the fastest and highest impact from artificial intelligence and generative AI. And I'm glad to be working at OutSystems at this point and be building this product, because we're at the forefront of that. And I think we're in a good position to make the best out of it. And yeah, it's exciting to see that we can build products such as the Code Mentor and the AI Mentor system and Morpheus that will really have an impact on people's lives and help them be more creative and build more software and innovate more.
Awesome. Thank you. Another question about generative AI is, does OutSystems use generative AI?
So yes, definitely. I showed you a Code Mentor, for example, where we were doing queries with natural language. there we use a large language model. Actually, we were using large language models already since last year. That's when this feature was released. Before all the buzz around generative AI, we were already using a large language models, transformer-based architecture. That's how it's called in terms of deep learning architecture name. And so, yeah, definitely we're using it there. And Project Morpheus, of course, heavily based on generative AI. And on top of that, we still have this layer of the AI mentor system of architecture, maintainability, performance, and security mentors that ensure that we're using generative AI, but there's still this other layer of AI mentors that guarantees that the application and the code that's generated fulfills the best development and quality standards.
Perfect, thank you. Another question we'll be able to answer today is, what are the advantages of using OutSystems AI capabilities to increase productivity instead of asking ChatGPT to generate code directly?
Yeah, so this ties with what I was saying just now, that using tools such as ChatGPT to generate code and just going for a generic generative AI tool such as that might give you some lines of code, but it really doesn't guarantee any quality in that code, right? In particular, in in terms of security and in terms of software quality. So that's where the AI mentor system comes in. So there's the big difference is if you go and ask ChatGPT to generate code for you, you might get a function, but you might spend a lot of time debugging it, not understanding what the code that was generated. And with OutSystems, what we're trying to do is we're having a safe AI approach where we're working towards making sure the code that's generated is safe and developed in a responsible way, and then of course works, and having this other mentors layer on top to guarantee security. And also looking at our visual development language. So as you've seen, OutSystems primarily based on a visual development language. And this really increases the power of what you can do with generative AI. Again, just using ChatGPT to generate some lines of code, you will very likely not understand and have a high degree of understanding of the code that was generated. And there might be things there that might slip through your attention and might create vulnerabilities in the future. While with the OutSystems low-code development platform and our visual development language, you really have a much more visual way of checking the code that was generated, right? So you saw when I was having the suggestions for logic when editing this field services application, I could see the logic nodes that were created, what were the parameters, the input and output parameters. And this visual language really, we believe, is going to be the best way to make use of generative AI for software development.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then we have one other question that we'll be able to get to today. And the question is, can ChatGPT be used with OutSystems to create AI-powered applications?
Yeah, so definitely. As I showed in the slides, we have just released our connector to Azure OpenAI. You can use that to connect to the GPT models and use the models, for example, to bring generative AI within your applications. We've had some interesting use cases on that. For example, we had an insurance application where users were looking at insurance policies, and we built an application with this connector that you could upload your two insurance policies, for example, and it would use GPT models to compare between the two insurance policies and give the insurance agents the comparison between his own company's policy, right, and the client's policy, so that the agent knows what are the advantages and disadvantages and can better advise the client. Going from that to things such as knowledge management and knowledge finding we need within organizations, customer support automation, and much more. And you can use that very easily. Just go on our ecosystem. It's called the OutSystems Forge, and look for this Azure OpenAI connector. In particular, was built together with Microsoft, and it's through Microsoft Azure, which guarantees, according to their own terms and conditions, that they don't use this data to retrain their models, which is important, of course, for more enterprise applications, let's say, and use cases.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nuno, for joining us for today's webinar. Just a quick note that this will be available on demand and sent to everyone via email after today's session. Before we wrap up, I'd like to invite everyone in our audience to download the 2023 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Enterprise Low-Code Development Platforms, where you can learn more about what to look for when evaluating low-code platforms and why OutSystems was recognized as a leader. Also, just a quick reminder, there are a bunch of related resources on today's topic that you can access in the Attendee Hub. So thank you so much to everyone for joining today's webinar, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Well, there you have it, another solution in our spotlight. We want to thank Christina and Nuno from OutSystems for that fine presentation, and we appreciate your attendance as well. Until next time, I'm Doug Atkinson here at Solutions Review. Thanks for watching.